And now it's time for the new normal with Professor Know-It-All.
Okay, Max. Throughout much of history, children were viewed as little more than chattel or property, with male children generally being valued more highly than female children. As early as 1832, some states began to initiate child labor and protective laws, but comprehensive and permanent child protective laws did not come into place until the 1930s. Even with these laws becoming more stringent, reported child abuse has only shown any decrease in the past few years. Soon after the reform in child labor laws began to take place, a system of free public elementary education began, with all states offering free public elementary education shortly after the Civil War. By the early 20th century, secondary or high school education also became a component of free public education, and by 1947, over 30% of people 25 years or older had a high school diploma. Today, over 80% of those 25 years or older are high school graduates. Though reforms in labor law and education were positives for children, other not-so-happy statistics also began to rise. In 1960, single-parent homes represented about 9% of all families. The new normal? That number has tripled, with 30% or 11.7 million families being headed by a single parent as of 2011, which is not surprising when you consider that births to unmarried women grew from 5.6% in 1960 to 36.8% by 2005. Until the 1950s, juvenile crime mostly consisted of truancy, vandalism, and petty theft. The new normal? Current crime trends show that juveniles are more likely to be involved in substance abuse, theft and burglary, or violent crimes including rape and murder. Teen pregnancy from 1950 to 1960 consisted of only 10 out of 1,000 girls becoming pregnant. From 1960 until 2000, that rate grew to 80 out of 1,000 teen girls pregnant. The new normal? 34% of all young women become pregnant at least once before the age of 20. Another new normal? Nearly 5% of the entire population of the U.S. is infected with an STD, or sexually transmitted disease. Of these, 63% are people less than 25 years old. During the first 2 decades after Roe v. Wade, abortion rates in girls aged 15 to 19 years went from 19 abortions per 1,000 pregnancies in 1970 to over 40 abortions per 1,000 pregnancies in 1990. The new normal? Over 200,000 abortions are performed yearly in this age group, with an additional 6,000 abortions yearly on girls under 14. While adult suicides have declined since 1950, the suicide rate for 15 to 19-year-olds has tripled since 1950. We can certainly assume the previous factors, along with poor self-image, global instability, cyberbullying, and of course the absence of God in our society, have all played a role. And that's the new normal, Max.